Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I think we should be good. You guys ready for this? Let's go. Hey guys, good afternoon to people in the Midwest. Good afternoon to people on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast. This is TNT Joe Fi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. This is episode something something. I lost count. And this is day something something in quarantine because I've just about had it. But, you know, it is what it is. Hey, guys, how's it going today? Hope you're all doing well. Just some quick news real quick. If you guys haven't already, I put a video out yesterday for the iPhone SE versus the iPhone 11 Pro, just kind of a sneak peek of, you know, comparing both of these camera phones. And I will say, if you guys haven't seen it already, I'm pretty impressed with what the iPhone SE can offer at $400 in terms of a camera phone. And I think a lot of that is just because of knowing that we're pretty much dealing with an iPhone 8 camera and its AI is really, really doing some good work here compared to, you know, what the iPhone 8. It would actually, I would love to have an iPhone 8 to kind of recompare and see how much that algorithm and how the A13 processor has changed. But if you guys haven't had a chance to check this video out, it is up. I put it out last night. I'm still not feeling the best today. I'm fasting right now, and I'm at about 108 hours on fasting. So I've been fasting for over 4 days at this point. I am eating tonight though, or maybe in the afternoon. So I'm excited because I'm pretty drained. I tried to go for a walk this morning. I go for a walk since I don't have a gym right now. I try to go for a walk every morning for an hour, but it's been raining all day. And so like it sucks because that video I had with the iPhone SE versus the iPhone 11 Pro, I wanted to do night shots. So if you guys watch it, it just has a couple portrait shots, has a couple day shots or overcast shots because it was raining then too. And I really wanted to do night shots, and I haven't had a chance to do any night shots yet because it's just been raining. And I don't mind a little rain. I can deal with that. But when it is like the most annoying thing is trying to set up and trying to take shots in the rain. I can't do it. I can't do it. But if you guys haven't had a chance already, feel free to check out that video. I am going to drop into chat here and say hi to everybody. If you guys haven't already, welcome to the stream, guys. If you guys haven't already, please feel free to like the video. Liking the video helps me, I think, in some kind of algorithmic way. It helps people find the stream, I think. So if you haven't, please feel free to do so. If you also haven't, feel free to subscribe. I do stream weekdays, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central. That might be changing in the near future. Just an FYI for you guys, I am currently looking for a job. It's the last thing I want to do because I enjoy freelancing and doing that kind of stuff. But funds are tight, so it's that might change. But if I do get a job, then I will still continue streaming, but it'll probably be later in the day. It just depends on what I end up getting, but we'll see. So anyway, sorry, let me just kind of go through chat here. I saw Levin in here earlier. Hey, Levin, thanks for being first in the stream. How's it going, man? Welcome. Brian's in here too. What's up, Brian? How's it going, man? How you doing? Tobes is in here. What up, Tobes? Tobes, Nwajagu. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Let me make sure I don't miss anyone. Mint Arcade, ready? I'm glad you're ready, Mint Arcade. How's it going, man? Welcome. What time is it for you over there? I keep forgetting. I know it's later for you, so thanks for making it. What are the specs of the OnePlus Z? We're gonna get into it. I really, there's some leak specs, but we don't know for sure. Obviously, nothing's official yet. Android Fixer saying, when are they coming? When is what coming? The OnePlus Z? If you saw on my thumbnail, that leak, that teaser leak looks like it says July 2020, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, so we'll see. So actually, let's jump into it. Let's get into that right now. So let me move my stories here. My stories. I sound like an old woman. Yeah, I'm watching my stories. Okay, so this oh shit, sorry, I need me in here. Not that one, this one. Okay, so this article from Fandroid. Oh, Mint Arcade says 1:23 a.m. Damn, man. Thanks for staying up late. If you were not in quarantine, would you be watching this stream right now? I don't know what time you typically wake up in the morning, but thanks for making it, man. Okay, so this article here from Fandroid is titled "The OnePlus Z Tip to Launch in July." And again, if you guys haven't seen, well, I'm sure you clicked on it. Maybe you clicked on this because you saw the teaser for the OnePlus Z. But let's talk about it. I haven't read this article yet. So the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro were launched not too long ago, but it seems that OnePlus has a new handset up their sleeves that could be announced in the coming months. Here's the thing too, is after the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro got announced, there was a special event for China, or in China, debuting the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro, but they had a mystery device that they ended up not showing. And I think that mystery device was supposed to be this OnePlus Z. And I don't know if there were supply issues or part issues or just everything going on with, the whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing. So maybe that's why they pushed it off. But let's see here. This is according to a tweet by MaxJMB, who claims that the rumored OnePlus Z could be announced this coming July. For those unfamiliar, we have been hearing rumors that OnePlus could have a mid-range handset in the works. It was previously known as the OnePlus 8 Lite, but later it was suggested that it could instead be known as the OnePlus Z. I prefer OnePlus Z over OnePlus 8 Lite, I think, as far as the naming convention goes. The OnePlus Z is rumored to be the revival of the OnePlus X handset that was launched a few years ago. What happens when they have a successor to the OnePlus Z? Since X and Z are now used, do they go back to Y? I don't know. Just my head is, I don't know, up in the clouds right now, just thinking. In case you haven't been keeping up with OnePlus news, the company attempted to launch a new lineup of handsets a few years ago in the form of the OnePlus X. There was no successor to the OnePlus X as the company decided not to pursue it, as they wanted to focus on its flagship phones instead. So here's what I ended up using also for the thumbnail. And obviously, I mean, what else are they talking about, right? The Z here, I'm assuming is the OnePlus Z. The one thing that bothers me offhand already is seeing this punch hole right here on the top center, pretty much saying, yeah, we're going to have another phone with a punch hole design. This is something that I have now, I feel like I've been on my soapbox. When OnePlus came out with their pop-up camera, I loved it. And yesterday, Samsung announced that they're working on a new phone that's going to have a pop-up camera. And I really hope this is going to be a new trend that sticks, because I am kind of tired of the punch hole design, hole punch design. I keep forgetting which way. I think it's hole punch, not punch, whatever. It's a little circle on the goddamn top center of the screen that I'd rather not have. And I would rather have a pop-up cam instead. Anyway, this photo here pretty much is saying, hey, probably July 2020. I mean, it says it right there. Over the years, the price of OnePlus phones have been steadily going up, with the OnePlus 8 Pro being the most expensive handset from the company to date. Yeah, $900 here in the US for the OnePlus 8 Pro, $700 in the US for the OnePlus 8. Just a lot more money than I'm willing to spend right now. And for a lot of people, I would even suggest that you buy the OnePlus 7T instead for $500 instead of buying the OnePlus 8. I mean, unless you need certain things, but that's that's another story to talk about. Anyway, here, plus with the success we've seen Apple experience with the iPhone XR and base iPhone 11, it's not surprising that OnePlus is ready to embrace its budget roots again. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this is what OnePlus sought out to do, right? To come out as the quote flagship killer. But yeah, we're going to get a OnePlus Z here that's not going to be a flagship killer. I don't know how well this is going to perform, but yeah, I have a couple other articles here just to go through the news and make sure we don't miss on anything. So this article from Android Guys again is talking about the rumor that the OnePlus Z will be released in July 2020. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's coming. What else is that teaser supposed to be for? So let's see here. So this was talking about when they released the OnePlus X, a massive disruption of the mid-range segment. And so I just want to see if they're actually talking about what this OnePlus 8 Lite, OnePlus Z could be. The renders showed the device sporting a glass finish, a rumored 6.5-inch display, a punch hole selfie camera, and a dual camera setup on the back with multiple additional sensors. The device also sports a Type-C port, but no headphone jack, although that comes at no surprise in this age. In addition, it's rumored that the device will feature an OLED display with an in-display fingerprint sensor and a possible 90 hertz refresh rate. So all those specs seem pretty top end for a mid-range phone or a budget phone or whatever you want to call it. As far as the internals, there is little information about that, but rumors suggest a MediaTek processor instead of a Snapdragon. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing too. No, it's not going to be a Snapdragon. I'm almost certain. In March, Max Weinbach posted that the name of the new device would be the OnePlus Z, would be OnePlus Z instead of the previous OnePlus 8 Lite. Now, another leaker who usually deals in leaks about Samsung products released a graphic suggesting that the OnePlus Z will be released in 2020. Okay, I'm waiting. I thought I had an article here that actually talked about the specs of what's going to be in it. Okay, here we go. So the OnePlus Z is expected to launch with a MediaTek Dimensity 1000 CPU. If there's anybody in the chat, are you familiar with this at all? Because I'm not. I know nothing about it. I have no idea if this processor is going to be any good. If you do know anything about it, is this comparable to even like a Snapdragon 700 series, or is it kind of a lower end, like a Snapdragon 600 series, because I don't know, which should allow for 5G connectivity and pretty good performance without costing a ton. So it says pretty good performance, but I have no idea. This should ideally keep the phone cheaper, which isn't necessarily something that people have been calling the OnePlus 8. No, not at all. No matter how good those phones are. The OnePlus Z is still expected to use a 3-camera system. So there are different reports. The other article was talking about 2 cameras. This one's saying 3. In-display fingerprint scanner. OnePlus isn't skimping on other features here. Okay, here's my thing too. Is yeah, okay, you're gonna have 90 hertz refresh rate. You're gonna have um, you're going to have this in-display fingerprint scanner. You're going to have 3 cameras, but my biggest gripe is how good are the cameras going to be? How good are they going to be? Because here we go again. I was talking about just the video I put out with the iPhone SE and how good that camera is holding up so far. I would rather have 1 good camera than 3 mediocre cameras. I've said that before, and I'll probably keep saying it. I'll stand on my soapbox until people get it right. And Apple at least has gotten that part right in terms of the camera and the price. But maybe that's just me because I'm such a camera guy and I want, the best bang for the buck. And I'm seeing that right now with the iPhone SE in terms of performance and camera. Battery is another issue. That's a whole other topic there. But in terms of performance and camera, that's pretty good. And price, pretty good. Yeah, because I'll bitch about that camera, but I'll save that for another day. Just like I bitch about the Pixel 4's camera or battery, not camera. But anyway, yeah. So we've heard it'll have a 6.4 or 6.5 inch 90 hertz display, which would be quite a step up from other mid-range devices on the market. With this rumor pegging a July launch, we really won't have to wait much longer to see what OnePlus has been cooking up. So that's the other question too, is how much is this phone going to be? Is it going to be $400 from OnePlus, or is OnePlus going to try to undercut the mid-range market and maybe price it at $349? That wouldn't be bad, right? If that MediaTek processor is decent, would $349 be a compelling price? But I guess it also, so what I expect, here's what I expect from OnePlus. OnePlus is known for making good, solid, stock Android-ish devices at a reasonable price with a mediocre, maybe above average camera. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do this with the OnePlus Z. So if they're going to put this MediaTek, whatever, Dimensity 1000 CPU in here, how much RAM is it going to have? 4 or 6? I'd like to see 6, hopefully 6. And I mean, is it going to be 64 gigs of storage for this $400 price point or $350 price point or whatever it's going to be? Is it going to be 128 gigs of storage? I'm kind of excited because, again, this is something that is going to revive the mid-range market. I wish that flagship phones were still in this mid-range price point, but I think that's long gone until another company really just comes and blasts through. And maybe Apple set that fire for people. I mean, Google started that fire with the Pixel 3a, and it's nice to see other companies actually trying to compete now in that market to give us a better deal for our money. So let me go into chat here. Let me say hi to everybody. Real quick, guys, if you guys just came in, appreciate you joining the stream. If you guys haven't already, please feel free to like the video. Liking the video helps with the algorithm, I think, helps people find the stream. So I do appreciate you guys coming in. If you haven't, come by and say hi. I try to engage with chat and talk to everybody. Sometimes the chat might be a little too fast to go through everything, but just to talk to everybody, I think it's nice to build a community and just say this isn't just a place to bitch and moan about phones, but to actually talk about phones and try to find what's a good deal for people out there and, give people a chance to really, flex their wallet and try to find something that might be priced well for you. So, okay. So let me scroll through chat. Just again, trying to say hi to everyone. Metal Crib 89. It's funny you mentioned that, man. Hey, first of all, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Do you think the MediaTek 1000D will be equal to the 765? I don't know. I really don't know. And here's the thing: is I don't even know how well the 765 Snapdragon is going to perform. I'm kind of excited for the Pixel 5 to see what they can do with a Snapdragon 765. Am I disappointed that they're not using the Snapdragon 800 series? I am. And I think we've mentioned it here before. I would rather that if the Pixel 5 came out, that they would have just brought it out with a Snapdragon 855 Plus, right? Like 2019's Snapdragon flagship chipset or their high-end chipset, but they don't want to do that because they want to tout 5G, which God, I feel like I'm a broken record because I feel like every stream I say it, 5G is still not widely adopted yet. It's still not the best time to buy 5G, but everyone's on that bandwagon and it's a big marketing thing and it's just very annoying. But yeah, I have no idea how well this is going to do. I haven't really messed with MediaTek processors before, so I'm not sure. But again, Metal Crib 89, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Samarth Kalra, which processor do you think is better, Dimensity 1000 or Snapdragon 765? Yeah, same question, man. I think a lot of us want to know that, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to be better. I have no real backup on MediaTek processors and how well they do. I also don't know how often those get supported over time. And that is something to question as well, is how well do they perform a year from now or 2 years from now? Can they hold up still? So I'm hoping that this Dimensity 1000 is going to be, a decent processor, because here's another thing. OnePlus phones, year-old OnePlus phones, even 2-year OnePlus phones have still pretty good performance over time. I have people who are still using I have friends who have a OnePlus 5 that I recommended to them a while ago, and they're still using it because it's still decent enough for them performance wise. I might, maybe not so much in the camera department or whatever, but still a decent handset that can still get the job done years later, which isn't something that you can say with a lot of other I was about to say other Samsung phones, but I mean, with other Android phones in general, but Samsung might be one of them as well. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know which is going to be better. I think we just got to wait it out and see. I will most likely be buying a Pixel 5. I know that I have sat here and said that $500 is the highest I will pay for on a phone lately. But I'm hoping the Pixel 5 is going to be under $500, especially with a 765 chipset. That's my hope here. So we'll see. Okay, so I see here Yash Bwajani. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Yash, I'm guessing Yash. Bullet Wireless Z is baseless. Thanks for sharing. I have no idea. I've never used any of those. And those bullets, right? Those still have a cable connected to it. So they're not truly wireless, right? It's just not for me. I would rather have truly wireless earbuds. But yeah, I mean, I use AirPods. I was going to say Android Pros. I use AirPods Pro ones, and they've been doing pretty well for me. So yeah. Android Fixer says, I hope for a price of $300. That's wishful thinking. I mean, I would be ecstatic if they released it for $300, but I'm guessing $350 minimum. I'm guessing really they're probably going to shoot for $400. Actually, here's my official guess. So if it comes out at this price, then I'm going to say I told you so. I said it on April 29th. I am guessing they're going to release it for $379. $379 is my guess, probably the lower end model, and maybe $379 is kind of an homage to the OnePlus 3. I think that's what I got my OnePlus 3 for. Was it $379 or was it $359? Anyway, $379 is my guess. That's what I'm thinking they're going to release it for the OnePlus Z, I think. If you Mint Arcade says, if you have the budget and want good sound, Sony will never disappoint. Oh, you guys are, yeah. I can't remember which ones everyone's talking about. The whatever bunch of letters and numbers that Sony does with their phone or with their earbuds or headphones. It's just a weird thing. Android Fixer says Indian prices are far cheaper than US prices with OnePlus. Yes, which is so annoying because I just talked about this last week. What was it? The OnePlus 8 is about $125 cheaper in US, $125 cheaper US in China, and I'm assuming it's around the same price in India, right? For the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro. I don't know why it's more expensive in the US, either importing or just because they know that we'll pay more money for it. I mean, I won't pay more money for it, but yeah, to see that it's 125-ish cheaper internationally, it makes me not even want to buy it. At that point, it's not even appealing to me until they really drop the price of the phone. Yeah, a lot of you guys are still asking about Dimensity and the Snapdragon 765. Denelli, hey, Denelli, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you again. What is this OnePlus Z? Yeah, apparently a mid-range, budget-ish phone for OnePlus. Whether that's coming is still a rumor, but it looks like it's coming. It really does. Demetrius, hey, Demetrius, how's it going? Demetrius Dukas, the fourth. Hey, Jerome, hope you're great. I'm sorry, you might be saying something I'm not understanding here. I'll buy a 4A day one. That's awesome, man. I actually might get a 4A just to test out its camera to see how it compares. Also got one P40 Pro for 400 factory new, and I'm already going to exchange it with an 8 Pro base model. This phone is awful, even with GMS. Thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know much about that phone, and Huawei is not something that's really on my radar at this point, especially because I can't even use Google services on it. Actually, you know what's kind of interesting is I know a lot of people were bitching because when these Pixel Buds came out, for the Pixel phones, they just started installing the Pixel Buds app on the phones just automatically. And I think it got a bunch of 1-star reviews because Google is kind of just forcing you to have that app. And I actually started doing a little research into modding. And I read this one article that was talking about ROMing your phone, but having no Google services on it, just adding the ones you want. And I actually might try that out. Maybe on my Pixel 4, maybe on my OnePlus 6T. I still have this OnePlus 6T that's just sitting here that I don't really use much anymore. And I might mod that with a different ROM on there and test it out, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Okay, so let's see here. Toba is asking, what are the specs of the LG Velvet? I actually have that for a later story, and I don't know all the specs yet. I actually haven't read that story yet, so I will go into that as well. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of chat here. I'm just going. Android Fixer says it's MediaTek's first flagship. It should be better than the 700 series for sure. That's good to know. That actually makes me more excited to know that if it's going to be their high-end chipset, I would love to check it out. Samarth also says the Geekbench is very comparable to the 855, maybe higher. Dude, I love that, guys. Thank you for sharing that. That's good to know. That actually would make me, I might buy that phone if it's actually going to be at that price and it's going to have high-end specs. And if it's going to be at like a $300 50 price point, shit, I would definitely spend the money. But who knows? I don't know if it's going to be. Oh, Mint Arcade actually left a link here. I will take a look at that later. Thanks for sharing, Mint Arcade. I'll check that out. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Tobez, you got a lot of questions, man. I can't directly answer all of them. Is the LG Velvet a direct competitor with the Pixel 5 or the Moto Edge? I think it might be. I really don't know. They keep talking about their high-end phone, but it's going to have a 765. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Metal Crypt, no doubt, brother. You're welcome. Keep up the great content. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. I really do. Thierry, X84, hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Support is pretty weak for MediaTek. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying. I don't really know how good the support is for it, be it official support, custom ROM, or even Gcam. So those are big cons to hear. And I don't know if that's going to change with this one, but I appreciate you sharing that. That's something that I will keep in this knowledge base. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Welcome to the stream. Which processor Sorry, Y 2019 is asking, which processor do you think that the Redmi 9 and 9A will get? Honestly, Y 2019, I am not sure. I don't know much about Redmi or I don't know much about Redmi. There's so many of these other companies that I would love to test their phones out, but I don't know how many of them are available in the US. So I don't know. Hopefully, chat can help you out with that because I'm not sure. But thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, you're also asking if it's going to get the Helio G80 or G85. I don't know much about that, man. Something I might need to do a little research on, but because I don't have those phones and I don't, you guys would have to check that out and see. Daniel Lupker says, Jerome, I'll do a pizza bet with you on that price. You just have to be within $5. I'll take that pizza bet, Daniel. Yeah, I'll take that pizza bet. So July 2020, we're gonna see what this price is out at. 379 is my guess. So we'll see. Um, Daniel, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you joining the chat. Okay, guys, let me keep scrolling down here. So Metal Crypt is saying, I'm using the S10e with Nova and the Gcam mod, so I'm content with waiting for some price drops. Yeah, I don't blame you, and good call on Nova. I do have Nova Prime. I do use Gcam for some of my other phones, so those are two great things to use in combination with what you're using. Thierry says, I'll pick whichever is cheaper between Pixel 4a and 7T, but I need at least 128 gigs. That is such a great point. I actually am glad you say that because and did you see my stream yesterday? I was talking about the OnePlus 7T, and yeah, that comes with 128 gigs of internal storage at $499. The Pixel 4a, what is the Pixel 4a probably going to price at? $400, and for 64 gigs is my guess. And if they're going to do 128 gigs, if there's any indication, look at the Pixel 4 right now. The Pixel 4 is selling for $499 with 64 gigs. And then if you want the Pixel 4 with 128 gigs, that's $599. That is highway robbery. Like none of us should be paying $100 extra just to get double the storage. That's no. I mean that's why like I have been praising Apple, at least with the iPhone SE, because you can get 128 gig storage with the iPhone SE for $449, which I think is a really, really good deal. Yeah, right now that 7T for $499 with 128 gigs of RAM is a really good deal. Yeah, you might even want to wait it out because maybe that price will drop when this OnePlus Z comes out or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Mint Arcade says if you want Gcam, better stick with Snapdragon for now. That's a good point. Demetrius says, sorry for that, Jerome. Sometimes my autocorrect ruins my life. It's okay, man. Don't worry, Demetrius. I totally get it. I hope you're doing well. Great fella. That's what I want to type. No worries. Appreciate you clearing that up. Y says here, I think $499 will be the price of the OnePlus Z. You might be right because now knowing that it's going to come with that high-end chipset, if that's what that chipset's going to be, I can see a higher price for it. But actually, you might be right because if the OnePlus 8 is pricing at $699, then maybe $499 makes sense. But I also think that OnePlus should be competitively going against the likes of the OnePlus SE or the iPhone SE, the Pixel 4a, the Galaxy A51. I feel like that's who they should be competing against at that point. Yeah, because of 5G. You make a good point. You really do. Mint Arcade says 100 for double storage is Bane Apple started. Yeah, it is. That's a lot of that is on them, and fuck them for that, really. But I'm going to give credit for Apple at least doing the right thing this time and just adding $50 for 128 gigs of storage. I really, yeah, you're totally right. You are right though. So Metal Crypt says here, and I'm going to move on after this for sure, 64 gigs is BS with app size increasing in 8K video recording. Yeah, it really is. 64 gigs is, we need 128 now. We really do. So, okay, guys, let's move on here. We're already halfway into the stream. So my next article is from Android Central, and this is talking about the Pixel 4a. We've just been talking about it, and the Pixel 4a is another mid-range phone that is coming into the market soon. I think. And this article is titled "The Pixel 4a will start shipping in late May, according to a new report." So I don't know if any of you guys are saving your money waiting for this or waiting to see what specs this really is going to have, but let's kind of go into it. So what you need to know, Google is probably launching the Pixel 4a in the middle of May. If you saw, I had a stream last week or 2 weeks ago that somebody took a shot of a bunch of Pixel 4a's in its box already, kind of like they were already ready to get it ready. They were they were ready to get it. Sorry, guys. I haven't eaten in 108 hours or so, or 110, whatever. They're ready to get it ready for distribution, the Pixel 4a. Internal carrier documents put the shipping date for the company's first mid-range phone on May 22nd. The Pixel 4a was previously expected to launch at the now canceled Google I/O Developers Conference. Google's Pixel 4a is said to be available on Vodafone Germany from May 22nd, according to whatever cache via Android Police, which looked at internal carrier documents. Reasoning backward, it's possible Google could announce the Pixel 4a around a week before launch, as it has done in the past, placing it right at the time where it would have been hosting I/O. Alternatively, it could announce them like the Pixel Buds, with sales beginning at or shortly after an announcement post. Google's Pixel 4 and 4 XL are expensive phones. Yes, they are. With obvious cons. Yes, they do. For regular users, poor battery life. Yes. And not so obvious benefits solely. Yeah, not a great benefit at all. The Pixel 4a, a smaller, probably more value-friendly phone. Let's also not forget to mention that the Pixel 4a is probably going to have a nicer looking design. It's going to have one hole punch cutout on the top left, at least from what we've seen. But and even though I'm not the biggest fan of that hole punch, the bezels look a lot better. They look a lot more symmetrical than what the Pixel 4 shows you, or what the Pixel 4 offers you. A fingerprint sensor in lieu of facial recognition, which I would rather have. I love the rear fingerprint reader on the Pixel 3. I'm happy to see that they're going to make that come back for the Pixel 4a. At least, that's the speculation here. More RAM. So hopefully 6 gigs of RAM, a reputation built on the Pixel 3a and 3a XL. And it already sounds like a winner. Here's another thing though, is if this Pixel 4a comes out, they better give you an option for 128 gigs of storage. I think the Pixel 3a only gave you 64 gigs, which I guess is serviceable for most people, but give the option to at least give 128 gigs. I don't know why that's a big deal. Throw in Apple's iPhone SE, which despite its lackluster battery life, remains appealing because of the price and software, and it's clear to see why this phone exists. So yeah, I think the Pixel 4a is going to have kind of an uphill battle because of the iPhone SE, because the iPhone SE offers such great, offers, a great chipset. So the Pixel, my iPhone SE has really good performance. I haven't noticed any hiccups or anything like that. The camera is pretty solid, but I think the Pixel 4a will have a better camera than the iPhone SE. I am pretty sure of that. And it would be great to test both of those out, but we'll see if I have both or if I have the money for both. But yeah, you never know. I'm kind of excited to see what kind of specs it has. I don't know what kind of chipset it's going to have, though. I forget. It's not going to be. Is it going to be an older? I think it's like a 730G or something like that. So another 700 series Snapdragon chipset. But yeah, I'm excited for it in a way. I think it depends on the price. I think it also depends on how much RAM it's going to have, how much internal storage it's going to have. And yeah, that's about it. I already know kind of what the camera is going to be like because I have my Pixel 4, and actually really I am about to retest the Pixel 4 and the iPhone S, or my iPhone 11 Pro. I think it needs another re-evaluation. I've done a good amount of testing for both of those camera phones, but I think it needs another test just to see how well that Pixel 4 holds up. The iPhone 11 Pro kills the Pixel 4 at night, but I think in day shots, I really need to retest that and give it another run there. Okay, so let's move on, guys. I have this article from Android Central that does talk about the OnePlus 8. So let's kind of, I'm not going to really spend too much time here, but this article from Android Central is, I just like the title, OnePlus 8 review, more of the same for $100 more, which is disappointing to say. I just think, you know, you guys can disagree with me, but at least here in the States, I think the OnePlus 8 is overpriced. I think the $699 the $699 price tag that they gave it is $100 more than it really should be. And I said that even before they launched it in China and India, and now they actually have it $125 cheaper out there. And for whatever reason, why it's more expensive here in the States, I don't really know. I'm sure there's a ton of reasons behind it, but so small improvements in capabilities brings a higher price, and still comes out to a great value. I don't know. I have a hard time spending $700 and saying that's going to be a great value, especially when you know you can buy the OnePlus 7T for $499 brand new right now. I guess it depends on the person, but I still don't think $700 is a great price for a phone, or at least a phone for what this is giving you. I'm not trying to bash OnePlus, because man, they year after year after year, they give you a solid phone. I will give them that. They give you a solid, really well-performing experience, and I can't hate on that. That's the reason I got into OnePlus in the first place, because it gave you that at a decent price. But this price point at $700 is just not the price point I want to see it at. So, OnePlus had a rather confusing 2019, launching 5 different phones in various pairings around the world in a staggered release that was tough to keep up with. And that's something I bitch about too, man, is I hate that there are so many versions of phones out right now. I don't know why a company just cannot give you the best phone at a really good price and just kill it. And so there's no confusion about which one to get. I don't have to sit here and explain why you need to get this one over this one, or why this phone at this price is good, but you're sacrificing this feature or that feature. So maybe this is the better. Like, why? Why are we doing this? This is such a bullshit kind of like system that we're working with now, that phone companies think they need to release 3 different versions of a phone, a very high end one, a very low end one, and then something in the middle. It's like, fuck you. Just give us a good phone with the best of the best. Why is it always like this? Why do we got to pay $1,400 for a phone when it's not even the best? I'll get off my soapbox. I hate it. I hate having to deal with that shit. The first half of 2020 smooths things out considerably, with the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro launching simultaneously. But the new phones do introduce a new confusion. Are the latest OnePlus phones still worth the money? Nope. I don't think so. Until they drop that price, don't get one right now. At least if you're getting one in the US, I think it's too expensive. As prices have continued to rise, now the OnePlus 8, the entry-level phone, yeah, it's funny. The OnePlus 8 is an entry-level phone, is $70 more than the highest spec model of the OnePlus 6T from 18 months ago, and the top spec OnePlus 8 Pro has reached the $1,000 mark. The whole smartphone industry is moving toward higher prices, and OnePlus isn't staying put. Its boat is rising with the tide. Just 6 months removed from the OnePlus 7T, the OnePlus 8 is here as the affordable mainstream option. That is not, I do not want to call it an affordable mainstream option at a new higher price. Here's what it offers for that extra money and where its value stands. I'll tell you right now, if you're looking for a new phone and you want a OnePlus, get the 7T for $500. Don't spend an extra $200 right now. I don't even think the camera is going to be, the OnePlus 8 Pro is the one with better optics in it. I don't even know how good the camera on the OnePlus 8 is compared to the 7T. I don't even think it's going to be a huge difference. So real quick here, OnePlus didn't change much from the 7T, but it didn't need to. You get so that's a great point right there. Look at that sentence. OnePlus didn't change much from the 7T, but it didn't need to. Okay, it didn't need to, but it added $200 to the price. Get the OnePlus 7T for $500 if you're looking for a new OnePlus phone. You get fresh hardware design and a bump in specs, plus 5G with the same great basics. 5G, again, you know where I stand on that. not the time. A really good display, strong battery life, consistent camera performance, and amazing software. Consistent camera performance. I don't have a OnePlus 7T, so I can't really judge. I just know that from past experiences, the camera is good, but it's not great. And especially at night, it can't compare. You just have to deal with the fact that OnePlus is charging $100 more than it did 6 months ago. So fantastic software experience, 5G and excellent specs for the money, consistent camera performance, sleek and solid hardware, excellent battery life. Cons: no wireless charging. That's not a deal breaker for me. Minimal improvements over the 7T. Again, if that doesn't prove why a 7T is the better deal, minimal improvements. Come on. No zoom camera and bad macro camera. Okay, so OnePlus makes some damn nice hardware that's right on par with any other phone maker at any price. And though it isn't experimenting with any exotic materials or new form factors, it nails the execution of a typical modern smartphone shape. I'm happy I was provided the Interstellar Glow colorway, which shimmers and shifts colors between gold, pink, and blue. I do like that color, depending on the lighting, and is accented by a subtle gold reflective metal frame. I'm not going to go into this whole thing, guys. I just giving you my thoughts, kind of seeing what the main points are here. This is as good a time to this. This is as good a time as any to reiterate that OnePlus makes some of the best first-party cases. Oh, why am I reading about cases? I don't give a fuck about cases. I don't use cases. Up front, the 6.55-inch OLED screen is effectively identical to the OnePlus 7Ts, though its accoutrements have changed slightly. The teardrop-style notch in the middle has made way for an eye-displeasing left-sided hole punch. God, but I'm regularly put off by the heavy color shift when viewing the screen off axis even by a few degrees. When the phone tilts forward or back, there's a pink or green cast that's annoying. That sucks. Though it's only really pronounced on apps with lots of white. A switch to the system-wide dark mode can help reduce its effects. That's good to know. At least I use dark mode for everything. That's also a relatively small complaint on a $700 phone that has a screen that's otherwise a direct competitor for the best in the business. You know what would make this complaint even smaller is if it was $500, like the OnePlus 7T. The curved sides and slick finishes make the OnePlus 8 a little slippery and tough to hold at times, but its relatively compact overall size balances that out nicely. So it's a little smaller than the 4XL, it says here. OnePlus left its software largely unchanged. That's good to know. The software is simple. I also like that they use Google Discover when you swipe to the right now. There's no more OnePlus shelf, which is great. As for performance, it's fantastic. This shouldn't be surprising. This is what OnePlus is known for, precisely as I've come to expect from OnePlus. I've been testing the higher end model with 12 gigs of RAM. God, that's crazy. 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, but yeah, it costs an additional $100. The only issue I ran into was Bluetooth. The connection was oddly weak to my Galaxy Buds Plus. I mean, that's a good point to bring up, especially for people who use wireless buds like I do for my AirPods Pro. And I could easily force it to cut out temporarily by resting my hand in my pocket with my phone. That sucks. Another part of performance is networking, and the OnePlus 8 includes 5G on all models, but whether you'll actually be able to use it requires explanation. Again, just not the time for 5G. Battery life, the 4,300 milliamp hour battery is 13% larger than a OnePlus 7T. So at least there's a big benefit I can say. If you're looking for a OnePlus 8 and you need more battery life, there you go. At least that I can say is a big pro for it. Let's see here. I very conservatively had battery saver set to come on automatically at 20%, but never hit that point over the course of a regular day, even with 5 hours of screen on time and my usual usage with lots of messaging. So it's good to know. Battery life is good. Cameras, there isn't much to analyze because it's the same. Right. Why buy the 8? Why buy the 8? Because it's the same 48 megapixel sensor used in the 7T and 7 Pro last year. Why buy the 8? Why buy the 8? I mean, and then if you want the 8 Pro, then you're going to be spending $900. No way. Don't do it, guys. Just hold off until the sales come for it. At least that's my opinion. If you got the money for it, damn, man, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Do what you want. I'm just here to try to put you in the right direction of trying to get the best bang for your buck. Maybe that's what I need to nail my point here from now on is trying to give you the best bang for the buck. So on the whole, it takes good photos. This is the same basic look we've seen from OnePlus of late, with colors and white balance that are generally accurate, taken with a little extra saturation to look a bit more pleasing. I mean, I can't go through all of this. Just I don't have comparisons to give it. Yeah, like actually, this looks pretty blah. Um, it just looks way too overexposed with the whites. This is what is this? Is this the wide camera? This is a main camera. This is a really soft shot. Holy shit, this is not in focus at all. This is this is an awful shot. Look at you don't there's no detail here. This isn't this is not why would you even put this as one of your examples? This is a bad shot. Um this is also pretty soft. I am not. These are soft shots, guys. This is not impressive. I mean, I'm not. I'm not really impressed. The night shots are okay, but they're not great. Um, like this is a nice, like artistic shot, but this is also really soft. Oh, that's not. This is not. This is not what I expected. I mean, they're not bad. Not all of them are bad, but there's no real focus. There's no compare this. Just watch my iPhone SE video, a $400 iPhone that was almost killing it in the camera department. Um, I can't. If you're buying a OnePlus phone, don't buy it because you want a good camera. It might be good, but it's not great. Yeah. Okay. Should you buy it? Um, this is they need to update this because right now you can get this. You can get a 7T for $200 less. Um, I would recommend you get a 7T. Yeah, you'll get a better chipset, an 865, but I don't think it's going to be worlds difference. I don't think you're going to be noticing it much unless you're a big gamer and you're doing like heavy lifting, but I don't think most people are. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Let me go through chat real quick just to see what's going on here. Let's see. Mint Arcade says Pixel 4a surprisingly didn't get leaked as much as the 3, 3a, and 4. Yeah, I have a feeling though that it's not. It's still on its way. People are still gonna leak it, and we'll see. There's still time before that leak, but yeah, we're already coming into May, and there's not too much about it. Okay. Let me see here. Metal Crypt says Pixel 4a should be a Pixel 2 body with 855 plus. I wouldn't complain. I really wouldn't. I mean, I would have just been happy with an 855 plus over the 765. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, Brian agrees. I would be okay with a Pixel 2 XL design. Mint Arcade says buy the OnePlus 8 Pro when the 8T Pro comes out. Thank me later. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, man. Don't spend that money right now. Metal Crypt says I just got 4K 60 frames per second recording on the S10e though. A software update. Why is the OnePlus 8 still only doing 1080p on the front facing cam? Yeah, and again, just looking at the camera, I'm not that impressed. I really am not. Rastaman Guada, hi from France. Hey, Rastaman, how's it going, man? How you doing? I don't think I've seen you in the stream here before. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. I see Will in here too. What up? What's up, Brian? What's up, Will? How's it going, man? Why you just got to say hi to Brian and not everyone else? Oh, never mind. He says good afternoon, everyone. What's up, Will? How you doing? Glad you can make it. Yeah, Mint Arcade says OnePlus left is software mostly unchanged, no update. Yeah, I don't know. So again, I'm not OnePlus 8 isn't going to be a bad phone. I just don't think you should be spending $200 extra on it. This is not right now. You can get the OnePlus 7T for $500. So okay, moving on, guys. And real quick, I will say for anyone who's here, if you guys just got here, hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Say hi. I try to engage with the chat, with the community, say what's up. I do stream Monday through Fridays, 12 p.m. Central. If you guys haven't, please like the video. Liking the video, I think, helps me in the algorithm to help other people find the stream, I think. But if you haven't already, say hi in chat. It's always nice to see what's going on, to chat with people and say what's up. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe. I did post a new video yesterday comparing the iPhone SE and the iPhone 11 Pro. So if you missed that, feel free to check that out. But again, thank you guys for stopping by. I will continue on here. And I do have some Samsung news. We are kind of rounding out the hour here, so I'm about to wrap it up. But this article from Talk Android says Samsung confirms it will announce the Galaxy Fold 2 and Note 20 in the second half of 2020. And these are probably going to be super expensive phones that I'm probably going to bitch about when it comes out, because I just don't want to pay that money for those phones. It's that time of year when companies hold earning calls. I don't care about earning calls. The Galaxy Note 20 is set to launch during the same window it usually does, the second half of the year. The surprising bit about the news is the Galaxy Fold 2 is set to join it in the same time period. These factoids were announced during the Q1 earnings call as a way of soothing investors. I don't give a fuck about investors. If you guys don't know already, I don't care about big companies. I don't care about their profits. I really don't. They fuck the consumers all the time. So that's why I sit here and I just want to try to talk about getting a good phone at a good price and what's the best bang for your buck. So a Note 20 might be coming out. The Galaxy Fold 2, they're both probably going to be super expensive. There's no other. I thought this was going to have specs or talk about it, but they don't. So yeah, new phones coming out. Big surprise. Samsung doing its thing. But here's another story. Here's a story from Slash Gear. They can talk about profits all they want, but let's talk about the real issues. The Galaxy S20 Ultra camera glass shattering blamed on alleged design flaw. I didn't hear about this. I don't know if you guys have. 2020 is starting to become a headache for Samsung, and it isn't just because of the COVID-19 situation. Its second foldable phone, the Galaxy Z Flip, isn't exactly flying off the shelves, but even its actual premium product, the Galaxy S20 series, is having trouble endearing itself to consumers. So let's see here. I'm trying to find out why it's happening. To be clear, it's still too early to conclude that it does have a design flaw, but a few users have reported that the glass protecting their Galaxy S20 Ultra's camera just suddenly breaks for no reason at all. The exact nature of the damage can either be a hairline crack or a large gaping hole, my God, over one of the lenses. I mean, maybe it's anecdotal, maybe it's just a one person thing, but maybe there are a couple other people experiencing it. It doesn't seem to be limited to a particular lens either, but in almost all cases, the functionality of the cameras has been adversely affected or completely blocked. God, I feel bad for people who spent $1,400 on this Galaxy S20 Ultra that's having autofocus issues, that's having green tint issues, that's having, I don't know, a slew of issues that it just doesn't look good, especially when you're spending that much money on a phone. Not a good look, Samsung. Not really a good look. I see Brian here with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you, man. Thank you so much. This puts you at, I don't really know how many super chats you've had, but this is like 25, 26 days in a row. I was just going through the numbers yesterday and I'm just like, God damn, Brian supports every day. So Brian, thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Really do. It means a lot to me. Thank you for going that extra mile in supporting my channel, engaging with the chat, being a moderator. It means a lot to me, man. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Metal Crib 89 says, I won't go near foldable until I properly protect it. For example, better cases and tempered glass screen. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing about me too, is I won't even go near a foldable until I get a phone that's going to give me the same specs, that's going to give me high-end specs, that's going to give me a good camera, because that foldable phone thing is not a big deal for me. My phone can fit in my pocket fine. I can understand if maybe you have a small pocket or whatever and you need a foldable phone, but at this point, I don't need one. The phones I use fit in my pocket fine, and I want the best camera experience. And and I don't want to pay a shit ton of money for a phone. So yeah, that's not happening either. So yeah, I feel the same way. Levin Williams with the dollar super chat. Levin, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support too. Yeah, Levin, you've also been a very big supporter, and I appreciate that. If you guys haven't noticed, I have now, I think in my intros and outros, I added a top 5 all-time super chatters feel there. And Levin and Brian, you two are on the top 5. So thank you guys so much for the support. It does mean a lot to me. Levin, thank you so much again. Appreciate it. Mint Arcade here says there is news coming out this morning where Samsung wants to save costs. They're considering using screens made by competitor BOE. I'll have to read into that. Had no idea. Not sure. But I'll look into that. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. I am going to round out these last couple stories here. This article from The Verge is talking about Google Meet video conferencing. So now this is supposed to be free. They're going to give it to everybody. You don't have to be a member of Google Domains or G Suite or whatever. Can it stem Zoom's meteoric growth? So if you guys don't know what Google Meet is, this is apparently supposed to replace Google Hangouts, I think. And, Google Hangouts hasn't been supported for over half a year. And I've walked away from Google Hangouts. I use Telegram now for everything. And Google Meet was supposed to replace it. And whether they do that, I don't know if Google Meet, though, is just video. And it's weird because you have Google Meet that does video, but you also have Google Duo that does video. And I think Google Meet is supposed to be their business end option, but I just don't know why they have to make so many and make things so complicated. And why not have a Google Duo thing? Because Google Duo is supposed to be fantastic. But I'm also really confused because you can't do a lot of things that you can with other video conferencing apps, or at least putting everything together like they originally did. So they're opening the video conferencing service to anybody who wants to use it instead of just offering it to enterprise and education customers. The company says anybody with a Google account will now be able to create free meetings of up to 100 people that can last any amount of time, though after September 30th, it may restrict meeting length to 60 minutes. The Google account requirement is a hard one. However, people won't be able to just click a link and join a meeting. They'll need to be logged in. Google will also introduce other safety measures. That's good to know. Those safety-focused caveats are Google's way of differentiating its Meet product from Zoom, which has had a meteoric rise. Google has trust problems of its own when it comes to conferencing and messaging products. Google Meet only became Google Meet earlier this month. Before that, the service was called Hangouts Meet. So Hangouts Chat, Google Slack, and Teams competitor, was also recently named to Google Chat. Why can't Google put Google Chat and Google? Goddamn, I'm already forgetting. Why can't they put Google Chat and Google Meet together so it's one seamless product? So it does everything in one package. Then what happens with Google Duo? Then do you shut Hangouts? There's just too many things. I think there are too many hands in the goddamn cookie jar right now, and they just need to give one good combined product to the consumer so that we don't have to worry if they're going to close it down again. I think that's the problem. That's why I've been walking away from so much Google shit lately, because I just don't know where their head is at. I don't. Yeah, so some Google users may remember Hangouts Video Chat, another one of those legacy products. Google says that product will be transitioned to Google Meet over time so that there's just one platform. But yeah, I don't know when this is going to happen. So apparently this Google Meet thing is going to be available at the end of May. I don't know exactly when. I don't think they gave a specific date. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. We don't know for sure. Lastly, Meet is also getting integrated into Gmail, so that's good to see. That's one of the things I loved about Gmail is I was able to use Hangouts, or I can still use it, but they need to update their shit. They really do. So yeah, whether that happens, I'm crossing my fingers. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, moving on. This article from 9 to 5 Google. Just going to briefly go through it. The LG Velvet talking about official teaser. The official teaser reveals a 48 megapixel camera, a 6.8-inch display. It says full specs, but I read this. There aren't full specs on this. Because they don't know what else is going to be on here. So it's going to have I'm just going to like summarize. This LG Velvet is going to have a Snapdragon 765G chipset, just like what's going to be in the Pixel 5. It looks like a lot of companies are going to start using the 765G or 765. I don't know if it's a G or whatever, but people are using this because they don't want to pay the money for the 865, and they're using the 765 because it's going to have 5G, which is whatever, stupid marketing shit that we don't need right now. So it says here, it doesn't mention RAM. It doesn't mention storage, which is disappointing because I'd love to know. But the company does say the Velvet will include a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, a 6.8-inch display, slim bezels, as you can see here, has a little notch, has a 20.5 by 9 aspect ratio, stereo speakers, and quote, artificial intelligence sound for better audio quality. So that's good to know. And there's also a headphone jack. It's going to have a 48 megapixel standard shooter, which I'm assuming is this right here, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel depth. I don't know if that's the time of flight or just I don't know. So yeah, it mentions using the camera and mics for voice out focus, which attempts to eliminate background noise and focus on voices. We'll see how well that works. There's also an ASMR mode. What the fuck is an ASMR mode? What? Why does that? It seems creepy. And time-lapse modes. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like a good phone. I don't know about the UI. That's something I always question. How good is the UI going to be? LG makes really good phones when it comes to audio. I think we all know that audio quality is something that they focus on. I have no idea how good the cameras are going to be. And then again, we don't know about storage. We don't know about RAM, but I think the UI is the one that kind of bugs me the most. I don't know how good that's going to be. So we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. And then, oh, that's my last article. This is just a reader I use. So yeah, that's I mean, I'm kind of excited just to see what it's going to be. I've gotten more excited with phones lately. Usually I've been very kind of just pessimistic because I don't know, a lot of it seems the same, but like kind of just diving back into it and seeing this $400 sector come back into the market. It's nice to see some phones start to compete again in that price range and at a price that I feel like is, reachable for the consumer. So before I end this, let me just go through the last things to chat here. Metal Crypt says Stadia, anybody? Yeah. God damn it, Google. God damn it. I guess foldable as what it is now is for people who want a phone and a tablet on the go. But given the app support now, there's nothing tablet worthy app for Android right now. I agree. Why 2019 says the Moto G8 line is way worse than you think. Apart from the G stylus. Yeah, no, I know. And I had that video. I'm guessing you saw that video, and I was bitching about the two G series that came out. But yeah, there's all these goddamn different versions, and I just don't understand. I really don't. LG should just use Nova for the software. I wouldn't complain. Or LG should just go stock Android. Do that. That would make me so goddamn happy. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, that's about it, guys. So I think that's it. Real quick, I do want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you if you like the video, thanks for liking it. If you guys haven't, feel free to do that. If you guys haven't subscribed, I do stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Central. Always try to talk about news, but I love engaging with chat. Love talking to you guys. I think that's a big part of creating a community. I think it's a good way that we can sit here. We can talk about Apple. We can talk about Android, and we can do it in an unbiased way. I mean, I wear my biases on my sleeve, but you guys know that. And but I'm always open to feedback and how you guys feel about things. And I will give that constructive criticism. I like to do things no filter. I don't. I try to cut through the bullshit. And I think that's important because I think a lot of people right now, especially a lot of other like tech YouTubers, and I'm not trying to shit on people, but I think a lot of people are trying to do it for the clout, or they're trying to be very dramatic about shit. And it's like, dude, like let's just talk about tech and like try to help people out. I think that's really important. Anyway, guys, that's it. I do want to thank again everybody for your time stopping by. I do want to thank Brian and Levin for the super chats. It does mean a lot to me, guys. It helps motivate me to do what I do on a daily basis. And I try to pump stuff out as much as I can and try to give you the best of what I can at the time that I can do it. So, guys, thank you again. I will see you guys tomorrow, though, 12 p.m. Central. Come by, stop by. Let's talk tech. Let's chat. Let's have a good conversation. And I'll leave it at that. Guys, have a good one. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.